Welcome, folks, to the DAZN Boxing Misfit Boxing Series X, August 27th in the O2 Arena. My guest today for this interview is none other than Fousey. Fousey, how you doing today, man?
Good, thank you. And thank you for not saying Fousey tube.
No, never.
I appreciate that.
Just Fousey. So, we're here in historic Jackrabbit Boxing. Before we get into the matchup at all, I just want to ask you what it means to be training in such a legendary gym, really, with some real high-level up-and-coming fighters in this gym.
One, it means everything. Like, I couldn't have picked a better gym, and I'm not just saying that because it's my home gym now and like where my loyalty lies. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, the experience that I'm getting here, the knowledge that I'm getting here, the camaraderie that I'm getting here, even the leadership that I'm getting here from the coaches. Like, I'm looking at all them as like even, you know, father figure type statuses. It's like I couldn't have got that anywhere else. So I'm super grateful and super appreciative of that.
Let's talk about this fight, because there are some big fights in the main event, the co-main, but I would argue that the rivalry between you and Deji is the biggest on the card and has the most potential for explosive action. Just give me your thoughts. We're here after the face-to-face. Give me your thoughts on this fight, the importance of it, and yeah, just going in there with Deji.
This is not only the biggest fight of that night, I genuinely think so, but I think this is going to be one of the biggest fights in YouTube boxing history. Like, for people who follow the timeline of YouTube boxing, they know what Fousey and Deji is. Like, this didn't just start out of nowhere. Like, this has been a long time coming. Like, even before Alex and Deji, like, I feel like that was even just a setup to get us to this point right here. Like, it was always going to be Fousey and Deji. So the fact that this is happening on DAZN, on KSI's, you know, card, it can't get no bigger than this.
All right, let's take a quick break from the interview because I want to let you guys know today's video is sponsored by my wonderful friends over at SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticketing app that makes buying simple. I have the app on my phone, guys, and it is by far the best way I've ever gone about buying tickets. Whether it's baseball, football, concerts, festivals, or Austin McBroom's fight in the bank in Los Angeles, if tickets ever go on sale for that one. SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web into one place to make buying simple. And they'll rate those tickets from 0 to 10 to make sure you get the best deal. Green obviously means good, red, not so much. But guys, even for the price of your tickets, you don't have to worry because I've got the hookup. When you use code WADE at SeatGeek, you get $20 off your first purchase. Again, guys, that is $20 off when you use code WADE at SeatGeek. And again, make sure you click the link in the description and download the app. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to the interview.
You know, you guys are really in a must-win situation for both you guys, right? This isn't just a fight to go out there and, you know, let's see who's the better sport, who's the better sportsman technician. No, this is a must-win for you and for Deji. And we just had the face-offs, right? Obviously, you know, it would have been better in person, but you did get to see him for the first time in a while. What did you pick up from that?
I didn't get to see him, actually. You know, I was looking at you on the screen.
Okay.
They didn't show me Deji. And you know, one thing about you saying it's a must-win. First of all, I don't even know if it's a must-win for Deji, because if anything, Alex was the must-win, and he said he would retire after Alex. He lost to Alex Wasabi. It's already forgotten, and now he's back again with me. But with me, and this is not me saying the importance of the win isn't there for me, but I'm saying I'm not defined by anything that happens in the ring, especially in the YouTube world. Like, the L's that I've taken in life, like, you know, Deji's talking about showing that he never gives up and never stops. He hasn't faced any real adversity in life yet. He's still living with his mom and dad, so he goes home, eats his mom's cooking, and living comfortably. He's a comfortable, successful, paid YouTuber. He's never hit rock bottom like I have. He's never lost every dollar in his bank account like I have. He's never gone through the real trials and tribulations that I have. So a little YouTube boxing match doesn't define a must-win in my life. So there's levels to it, so it's different.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like even when you're talking there, you know, you're saying he's never faced anything like, and you're shaking that right hand. And we talked about a little bit of this during the face-off. One of the things you brought up, and obviously, you know, you have been through trials, tribulations, but you've made it here. You've transformed not only your body, your mental, but you've also added some real boxing acumen here at Jackrabbit. You were shaking that fist, and you told Deji in the face-off he'd never seen the type of power you were going to put on him. And to be fair, you're right. Do you think he's understanding of the level it's gotten to now? Because in other fights, he hasn't been hit hard. He hasn't been wobbled to the point where you say you're going to put him there. Do you think he realizes what's coming?
He does. And it's not even in the sense of what they're thinking. Oh, Fousey's just going to come out swinging, because like, you could, that's what I was saying, that's what everyone thought for the Slim fight. But with no boxing IQ, technique, anything behind that, you know, what happened? What does power do at the end of the day? Nothing. Technique, skill, everything is going to beat that any day of the week. But he's never been touched. Vinny Hacker did not beat Deji. Deji lost to Deji that night. He was throwing his hands, let him go. The only problem is he didn't train. He came in like a fat lard, tired himself out, came out when he realized I can't knock this kid out, took a knee, and finally when his soul was out of his body, had no gas, covered up and lost the fight. Right. Alex Wasabi outskilled him, took all of his components away. But rewatch that fight, Alex didn't really touch him. Alex didn't put any tension on him, and Deji didn't even want to be. Any right that came his way, he ducked out of it. But I'm going to make sure when I'm in that ring with Deji, he's going to feel it.
Do you expect a different Deji? Because like you said, Alex didn't really touch him, right? He was able to be kind of slick defensively, but didn't really throw his hands, right? He wasn't really offensive in any way. Do you expect a big change this time around? Do you expect him to come after you? Do you expect more of a technical guy, but on the front foot? What do you think offensively for Deji?
100%. And I mean, he said it in the face-off. He said, you guys will see on the night of the fight. Like, I know their plan. In the hotel lobby, right after he lost to Wasabi, and he came up to me and he got the idea like, oh, you'd fight me, Fousey? He asked me, he said, you'd fight me? I said, yeah, I would. He said, I already know what you would do. You would come at me like a bull. I'd work my back foot and I'd counter. I don't think that's going to be their plan. I do, think that he's going to be on his front foot. He's going to come with aggression. I do think he's going to be in the best shape that he's been in. Granted, because they've seen the shape that I'm in, and it's hard to miss. So I do, and if that's his plan, fine, so be it. I'd love that. Come at me, throw. Let's throw. If you want to throw, like if you actually want to just have that rumble, let's have that rumble, Deji. Like,
you think if that is the case, you guys square up, it's time to throw, you think you got more heart than Deji does?
More heart?
To stand in there, to take those shots, to keep coming forward? I
don't even need to answer that. Like,
next question. When you're talking about Deji and how he prepares for things, I kind of want to transition to the people that support him. Right, and this has been a big, topic of conversation leading into this, is that there's a lot of people, even though Deji has lost some fights here, that still have his back and kind of dismiss you, even though you've only had one fight, and it's been 3 years. Do you think that people overestimate Deji's ability because of his fandom, and maybe underestimate yours because of the fact that you haven't been in this scene for the last 3 or so years?
100%. I mean, after the loss to Alex, they had their moments of, Deji, it's over. But now that he got this, it's like they believe in him like those 3 losses don't even exist no more. Right. Like he's on this some sort of pedestal, and I do think they dismiss me. I'm not going to get too much into that because I don't even want to give attention to them. Sure. But 100%, they have him on a pedestal, they support him, and by all means. Once I beat him and he's back to fight whoever he fights on the next fight, it's going to be the same thing. They'll be back with the same support and like, let's go Deji, never give up.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you because, you are back now, right? You're back in this scene, you're taking it very seriously. And I don't anticipate this just being a one-fight kind of journey for you. Obviously, you're not overlooking Deji, and I don't want you to do that, but do you see yourself having a future continuing in this YouTube boxing scene after this fight?
It's funny because I was never supposed to step in the ring again, ever again.
Yeah.
I have Happy Punch Promotions now. Yep. I'm a promoter. We have a roster of fighters. We have Dean the Great. We have Salt Poppy. We have Face Sensei. Like the list goes on and on.
Is it 5 out of the 7 fights have Happy Punch?
Are Happy Punch fighters on the fight? So I didn't even need to fight again. Do I see myself boxing in my personal life outside of this? 100%. I plan to be a part of Jackrabbit for long after this fight. Now, I will never look past my opponent, especially after what I did against Slim and overlooking him and saying, I'm going to knock you out and all this stuff. But is there somebody on my mind that if I were to continue and if I got a nice paycheck and I could see myself fighting after this fight? 100%. And I don't need to say who it is. The entire internet knows who it is. And that's on the top of my list.
Sure, we'll keep it there. You know, I wanted to talk to you about Happy Punch, right? Because we did just say, you know, 5 out of the 7 fighters are on this card. Talk to me about what it's meant to you to be a promoter. I think, you know, when you guys started, you were finding your feet, but all of a sudden it's become a YouTube boxing promotion titan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys have almost everyone on this roster. What are the plans going forward? Are you guys looking to host events? Or are you looking to just showcase these fighters in the best way possible?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about Happy Punch and what it means to you.
Happy Punch means a lot to me because it's my little baby. Like, I literally, after playing the role of Dana Tube, which is now long retired, and you're doing a job that a great job. Like, you're perfectly fit for this role. I hit up Keemstar and we came up with Happy Punch. And at first it was just to work events, do commentary, you know, do ring announcing. And then one day I'm on YouTube and I see this kid boxing 3 people at once. And then I click another video and he's boxing a cop. And I look into him and I'm like, where the hell has he been hiding? Because he wasn't, you know, a pro fighter, but he had the skills of a pro fighter, but as a YouTuber, and that's Dean the Great. So the plans for Happy Punch changed immediately. I called Keemstar and I said, look, we need to act as a promotional company. We need to sign this guy, have him on the roster. So once they all get their chance to shine, like in this event, and Happy Punch clears the night, there's not a single Happy Punch fighter that's gonna lose on August 27th, hands down. Happy Punch will be throwing their own events, and that's soon to come. But with a twist, I don't want to get too much into that, but they will be. Yeah.
Well, let's kind of relay that into some of the predictions you have for this card, right? Obviously, you're going to pick your Happy Punch guys. That's, you know, Dean, that's Face Sensei, my boy. But some of the other fights, you know.
But I don't want to, you know, when I say that, that's to not discredit anybody that they're going up against. Like, to step in the ring, like, outside of what everybody, like all these keyboard warriors who talk about you're this, you're that, you're this. To get in the ring, you automatically, you know, gain respect. And like, even, you know, when they did that change and they gave the win to Temper, rightfully so, instead of Kenny, like, I was one of the people saying that doesn't take away anything Kenny did that night. Like, he fought great. He had a great performance, like, all love and respect to him. So I just want to say that. But yeah, I do feel like Dean the Great,
Be a quick night, yeah.
It's, I don't like, man.
He's talented.
Man.
A lot of people, we're going to talk to you in a second, but a lot of people just don't realize yet. I don't think enough eyes have seen how talented he really is yet. And when it does happen, and when he does show it, I think it's to the moon. I think he's really going to be one of these guys that takes the scene over.
And he's going to break the internet that night. It's going to be the knockout of the night in spectacular fashion. And to, you know, what's funny is the issue is almost who's going to want to fight him. It's like, and I'm willing to put him in the ring with anybody. If FaZe Jarvis wants it, step up. If name somebody else in that.
I mean, I know your boys with Adam Solid. That'd be a fun one. You have guys like DDG if he ever comes back. You have Money Kicks.
DDG will never step in the ring with Dean. I dare him to. I dare him to step in the ring. Like, we'll set that up immediately. It won't happen. Like, name somebody, we'll put him in the ring against them, and confidently.
I love it, man. I love it. Let's talk about some of the other fights, and we'll get you out of here really quickly. We talked about Sensei Kenny. You know, your thoughts on that. You think Sensei's taking that, but let's talk about the co-main.
One thing I want to say about Sensei Kenny. Kenny loses a fight to Temper. He doesn't come back for a comeback fight and pick the easiest fight he can and say like, I'll take that to get my confidence up and boost up. Yeah. He picks Face Sensei, one of like the top tier of, you know, this YouTube boxing game. But then look at Deji. He picks Vinny Hacker. Was supposed to be that's where all this started. Right. Deji, why did you pick an easy fight? And he had to say, it's not an easy fight. Right. And then he picks Alex Wasabi, loses to Wasabi. Who does he pick next? Fousey. It's like the difference and even the parallels between what Kenny did versus what Deji is doing, it's night and day.
Yeah. How do you see this fight going with Deji? How do you get this win?
I get this win by remaining calm, listening to my coaches, doing what I've been taught, what we've been practicing, and sticking to the game plan. The only person I can lose to on August 27th is myself. I can't lose to Deji. I can lose to myself that night if I allow myself to. If I confidently just listen to my coaches, trust in my abilities, and stick to the plan, it's going to be an easy night.
There it is, man. Fousey, he's a part of what I think is the biggest rivalry in YouTube boxing. He's going to be fighting on August 27th in the O2 Arena. DAZN Boxing, Misfits Boxing. I'm Wade Clemens. This is Fousey. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you then, man.
Thank you.